So you all entered here today and you saw this wonderful mansion out here. That doesn't tell the story of the Native Americans, of the enslaved people, of the tenant farmers who lived and worked here. Philip Schuyler was one of the architects of the Sullivan Campaign, which really burned hundreds of Native villages in central and western New York. Not only that, Washington and Schuyler felt that all of their food sources should be burned and their food stores, which would force them into a small area and make them agree to give over their land. This model is based on a description that Philip Schuyler left for tax purposes in 1798. So we know it's very accurate. He had to be detailed. And so this is a very accurate model that does show that mansion, but also shows the other dependencies on the property. And what's notable is that a lot of the property was obscured by this enclosed wall that visitors would not see. And back here was a very important workspace. This was the workspace that helped support the activities of the house, and the kitchen was located back here. The enslaved cook and her helper, that may have been a family member, but it may not have been, would have lived in that kitchen. There was also a room to wash up in, a room to mash meal in. There was a hen house. The kitchens were almost always separate from a Georgian mansion at that time because you didn't want your guests seeing that. You didn't want them smelling that. Today we associate kitchens with wonderful smells. Then they were really doing the butchering process. You know, they were preserving meats through salting and smoking and vinegars and boiling fats for tallow, for soaps and candles, and all of that nastiness that the Schuylers didn't want their guests seeing.